One, we are live. All right, guys. Thank you and welcome to the No Offense Podcast. Appreciate everybody who taps in. Y'all know when y'all come to this channel, I got one rule. That's you must hit the share button, man. It's absolutely free. I'm sorry, I got two. I don't want to be a liar. If you haven't already subscribed, you gotta hit that subscribe button. That way you catch all the great, interesting people we have here. Today's no different. We have the Jasmeena Azu on the platform. If you guys haven't followed her on Instagram, you're gonna make sure that you get your information today, as well as where you can catch her on on anything else that she has going on going forward. So do me a favor, make sure that you hit that share button. Get your fingers warmed up because the comment section is open. And if we have time, if we see any questions, I'll try to get to them. If not, you know how I do. I will try to follow back up with you if I can get an answer. As always, I'm going to remind you to hit the share button. You can't I didn't tell you. I tried to make sure that was in there. Appreciate you. We got 504 dimes in the building. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. We got okay. I see you. I see you. The miss is in the building. Ain't all right. Y'all make sure that y'all go and check out 504 dimes magazine as well. 504dimes.com. All right. Yeah. All right. So y'all ready to meet her? I know y'all like, man, this dude's been talking. I try to get y'all time to get in best seats in your house, right? It's time to get this interview cracking. Here we go with Miss Jasmine. I think you might be sideways again. Before I bring you up. All right, y'all. She might be sitting sideways like Paul Wall. Here we go. Y'all ready? There we go. Oh, no. There we go. She fixed it right there. Perfect timing. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you make an entrance. How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm blessed. Thank you so much for being on the platform. It's you guys do have the right to say no, so I do appreciate all of our guests who come through and bless the platform and let us get to know you.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate the consideration.
For sure, for sure. You, by the way, let me say publicly, you definitely have some awesome pictures. You are definitely photogenic. That's why we're going to find out today about your career into modeling. And I hear a little birdie told me that you happen to be able to sing a little bit as well. I'm not going to put you on the spot, but I'm definitely going to encourage people to go check it out for themselves. Cool.
Yeah, I'm actually supposed to be creating original music like right now. I'm almost done with my first song.
What? Dude, hey, listen, I think I heard you doing a cover or something like that. But hey, listen, we'll make sure that we get to that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to steal your shine. I think every story, man, if you're gonna remember it, right, it's got to start with a great beginning. Most of the stories that start with what?
A lot of hard work with no payback for a long time.
Dang. Oh, this gonna be good. I hope y'all got popcorn, right? Let's get into it, Jasmina. Tell us first where you're from and where you were raised.
I'm from the Metro Detroit area in Michigan. I grew up in Roseville for a large majority of my childhood, and then we ended up moving to Utica, which is not that much farther, but it's a little bit more north. And I've been living on my own since I was 23, and I've moved around a little bit since. Right now, I stay around New Baltimore area ish.
Okay. Okay. So you got a little okay, so you been in cold spots. Definitely colder than I be at. That's wild. But yeah, definitely, known for being, a little rough. So that means that you're a soldier. We definitely know you that came through, not the one to mess with. I got that. I get that. You definitely bring that ferociousness to your pictures. Appreciate that. How did that help to, discover that you wanted to get into this modeling thing?
Well, what really actually helped me is that I currently work at Chrysler. I was laid off for about a year and a half, and while I was laid off, I was like, well, what do I do with my time? And I used to do like pageants and things like that when I was a child. So I kept seeing ads at some point when I looked into it for like modeling and acting classes. I like took some that were online, and after that, I got signed with an agency. And then I took the information that they gave me from the classes and I started applying it to things that I could do myself since I wasn't really getting a lot through the agency.
Mhm.
And it's more like freelance, but it's not exactly like paid. It's more of just like a passion project.
You know what? I feel like those produce the best results because now it seems like you're only doing it from the heart. So you care about, your images. It looks like you're also into sports, a little, like not sports, but sports cars possibly as well.
Oh yeah, I'm part of the car community in the area. I personally have had 4 cars at one point, but I had to downsize when I got laid off, so I only have the 2 right now. An old Charger SRT8 and a Nissan 370Z, but the Nissan needs a lot of TLC right now.
All right, so you got some projects. I see you. I see you. And you said you work at Chrysler. So have you always been around like cars as far as like parts and mechanics and things like that, or you just always had an interest in vehicles? How did you get here?
Well, personally, when I was younger, I couldn't really tell what I was into. Like, I would eavesdrop in conversations when I heard the boys talking about cars and things like that, but it wasn't really anything that I knew, like, for certain, like, yes, I'm into this.
Hmm.
It wasn't until I ended up buying my first car when I was 18 that I was like, oh, yeah, I really like cars. Like, this is what was missing from my life. And my father isn't exactly super into cars, but he has worked on his vehicles himself because he can't take them to the mechanic because they're too rusted. So he has like helped me with being able to fix them, but he doesn't exactly like that I'm into them. And he also works at Chrysler. He's the one that actually gave me the referral to get into the plant that I'm in now.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So, I mean, are you into like the performance of the vehicles or the speed? Because I know some, or is it all around?
Well, I personally I do like all of it. Like I can like the aesthetic purposes. I can like the speed. I do like to drive fast. What I really like about Mopars is that they have like a lot of torque. So even though the vehicles are really heavy, they carry very well. Like I still my old Charger is still not slower than a lot of cars, even though it's a 20-year-old Charger. So
I gotta keep that in mind. No racing you. All right, bet. Yeah, it sounds like she knows what she's doing. All right, so okay, so you discover yourself around 18, and unfortunately you get laid off. That happens. I'm sorry that it did happen to you. And you discover modeling. Um, how did that transition into acting, or is that something you also want a dream that you've always wanted to chase as well?
well, with the agency that I was signed with, it was like both modeling and acting, and they did tell us about like both ends. It wasn't even just modeling and acting. It was also like you they also mentioned stuff about like self advertisement, and like they literally told us like you don't even really need an agency to be able to do these things. Agencies can help, but you don't always need one, and they told us that, and they taught us that, and how to market ourselves.
Mhm.
As far as like really getting into the modeling, it what really pushed the passion for it was just that I'm a very, very creative person. So I started having these ideas that could be done with a person as like part of the aspects, and I just made myself that person, and I would just try to scout out photographers that I think could possibly portray my idea, which is sometimes like really, really hard because a lot of photographers don't like doing creative portraits. They really just want to just take pictures. So it's like kind of a difficult passion project, but there's just because I'm very creative, I just try to make it work anyway.
I love the fact that you don't settle, man. Like because I feel like if you set out to achieve a dream, right? And if you stop because you feel like you're limited, then you don't actually achieve the dream, right? So shout out to those creatives that won't stop until you actually see your thoughts, on person or in life where other people can understand and enjoy it. As far as like photographers that you work with, are there any coming to mind that you feel like did a great job to encapsulate, those ideas that you had, while others might have found those to be, harder?
Well, there was one that I reached out to recently and I did a photo shoot with, but she's already like a really, really big photographer. I thought that she was going to be all the way in LA. So I messaged her when I was planning to go to LA, and she ended up like staying in between LA and Ohio. So I drove down to Ohio to meet her. Her Instagram is like Drella Darko. Her name is Paige. But yeah, she was very, very good and very reasonably priced for how immaculate her work has been. As far as smaller photographers that do very, very clean work, I have like friends that one that his name is Hidden Icon. His work is very, very clean. He's still trying to um figure out how to mess with his camera settings to get certain aspects to work. It's like this one time we were trying to do a photo shoot where I wanted like my image to look red, and his camera kept like making the image so clear that you couldn't tell that there was a red light there. It would make me look like my actual skin tone. Um, but his like raw photos even were just really, really good. And I even asked him like, can I just post the raws from some of the shoots? And then there's C2 images. It's like underscore C2 images on Instagram. He was really good, and he's down to clown as far as like going outside of the box.
Mhm.
But like he also like you have to like really show them like this is what I mean, so he can get the idea, and then he's really good at trying to get that energy portrayed. So I had hit him up for a creative shoot before, and I had a lot of fun with that.
Well, shout out to those guys. You make sure that you guys go support those and follow those guys too, because it's hard out here, you know. Speaking of which, being a creative, I know we strive to bring new things to the world. Where do you find your inspiration? Like, or what things do you find to be a common theme in the things that you create?
Well, inspiration, a lot of it actually recently has been coming from music. Like whenever I listen to songs, I will just be imagining things like almost like I'm making a music video in my head. And like this is the one that I did with like the one girl Page. There's this one song called I Run by Haven, and they were saying the lyrics, I'm tangled up in wires and I can't catch my breath. And that made me thinking of like, yeah, being trapped in like physical wires. So I wanted to shoot that aspect, even though that's not what a lot of people are paying attention to in the song. That's what stuck out to me.
Mhm.
And like things like that, like there was this one song that kind of had like a retro video game beat, and it just made me think of like, yeah, I like that retro video game vibe. And there are people that they took photos at like the arcades, but I don't want to take photos at the arcades, so I got my brother's game board that it's almost like an Atari type thing, but not an Atari. It's like way newer, way bigger of a game board, and I borrowed that from him and I used that for a photo shoot. I tried to like make it like colored like as if there was a screen in front of us, like a TV, but then I also had an orange light just so that way it gave more of like a retro homey vibe.
Mhm.
So a lot of it does come from music, and then some of it is just things that I just come up with just because I don't stop thinking.
I love it. I love it, man. Well, it sounds like we're gonna always be getting some new creative work from it, from you, and definitely can't wait to see what that entails. What are some of the things that motivate you to keep going? Because I know like some things, like sometimes when we try things, they don't necessarily go as we exactly how we plan them to go, right? Because life is life. It be life, right? Can we agree?
Yeah,
So, what are some things that motivate you on those, not so good days to keep going forward?
spite. It's literally spite. Like I'll see like me not getting opportunities that I think I deserve, and I'll just like work so much harder so that way maybe those people will come to me later, and I'll be like, no, I'm not interested.
It's like, no, I still made it away, even though you wouldn't help me out. I love that.
Yeah, there have been like photographers that they don't want to work with me because of certain things that I wouldn't even feel like pointing out right now.
Mm.
But like it's noticeable, like, okay, you're willing to work with these other people that I'm friends with, and you can't work with me. So and then I'm like trying to elevate myself. So then later I've actually had someone message me that they were ignoring me when I asked them if they could do a photo shoot with me. And then after they saw me posting more, they suddenly were like, "Can you do this shoot with me?" And I straight up told them, "No, I'm not interested in working with someone that doesn't respect me as a person."
Man, I freaking love the honesty. Like, no beating around the bush, just direct to it, like communication. Like, nope, this is just what it is, and life's life. You know what I mean? Like I definitely love that aspect. I feel like that's gonna definitely take you far as direct communication, because you don't really get that with people. I feel like a lot of people are vague, and so direct communication, I feel like, can definitely create opportunities, because people don't have to beat around the bush to try to figure out what it is that you're trying to do. Speaking of which, when you're in that creative mode, how direct are you as far as, I want it this way, or I see it this way, or is it more like, I'm trying to bring an idea to life, so I'm just trying to be in this mode, or is it basically like picture perfect, like this is how I see it and this is how it has to be done?
So, when I come up with specific concepts, I do have like a little sketchbook that I draw like my ideas into, and
Mhm.
I will like show them like these are the aspects that I want, and I'll also like try to find reference photos, which is very hard if you're coming up with an original concept.
Right.
Um, but then some of it can also be up to the photographer's idea because the photographer sometimes will just get ideas on their own from taking the shoot. So
Right.
I'll let them also play.
Right. Cool. Okay. All right. So somewhere, there's a little Jasmina. She's looking at you. She's saying, "I want to be just like her." What's something that you would tell her in regards to trying to get, where you hope to go?
To honestly start younger because there's a lot more opportunities for younger people than there is for older people, especially for acting. So I wished I would have started a little bit younger, but I didn't realize that that was something that like it was I didn't realize it was such a harsh industry. As I was a theater kid in school and I took choir and I didn't think that it was gonna be as like I didn't think the market was as saturated as it is, and it is very very saturated.
Hmm.
So it's very hard to stand out, and a lot of it is, oh, your resume isn't long enough. Like, yes, you have amazing work, we love your work, but your resume is too short. So that's kind of like a harsh blow because it's like, well, you're telling me that my resume is too short, so you're not giving me a job. This other person's telling me that my resume is too short. How am I supposed to
It's
extend my resume if
right.
everyone's telling me that it's too short?
That's actually makes perfect sense. I mean, it makes sense to me and you, but apparently they don't get it. But they're the ones in power. Sometimes I wonder, maybe things aren't the way they should be.
This
Um,
even happened in LA. Like there we I was at an event that was basically like a pageant for like models and actors and things like that. And they
mhm.
told me they're like, we really loved your monologue. It was amazing, but your resume is too short. So you tell me that you like my acting, but that's not enough. Okay. I see.
That is crazy. So is there a particular genre that you prefer to work with, or are you just, at this point, you're just looking for, work to build a resume?
As far as like genre for like modeling, I really like doing like creative shoots and then like lifestyle shoots, like things like just going out and about, something that seems like a normal person being a normal person. And
Mhm.
then as far as acting goes, I would say that I really want to be in something dramatic, but I was in something that like they told me like, okay, you're gonna have to act like you want to kill this person. I'm like, I can't do that. I don't know if I'm that good of an actor. Um, so it's hard to kind of say. At this point, I feel like just my whatever comes my way that's not like uncomfortable, I would be okay with.
Awesome. Now, you do, I imagine like modeling and acting have some similarities and some very, big contrast. For example, with modeling, you tend to have to be a little still, or, a little focused. With acting, it's more so about trying to embrace this role. How do you manage the difference between the two while still knowing, who you are and defining who you are, but just lending yourself to these different contracting roles?
Well, as far as like how do I handle the difference, they kind of go hand in hand, and that's how I see it. Like with the agency that I'm with, when they were talking to us, like, do you want to do modeling or acting? Anyone that said that they just wanted to do modeling or acting, they were like, well, you should want to do both. Like, for example, like a lot of the older people said, I just want to act. I don't see myself being a model. And they're like, no, because you don't understand. Like sometimes they'll need someone to advertise like medication, and they don't want a young person for that to model that. They want someone that looks like they actually would need that medication. So you should consider doing both and things like that. And that's how I see it. And I try to keep my marketability
Mhm.
so that way I can get those opportunities. Um, but yeah, to me they go hand in hand.
Awesome. As someone who, I mean, I don't act or model, so I'd always like to uh, try to just pick your brain and try to live vicariously through you guys. Just trying to figure out the train of thought, because it's an amazing thing to see the different aspects of who you are, like through your photography. I mean, through your your photographs, versus like when you're seeing you act. So you're just curious as to like the mind state of the person as they're doing these different things, because um I imagine you want to do would you rather do more work as a model, or would you rather move into like a full-fledged role, or just where you're doing more acting? Like, would you rather move to a movie star role, or you're more so like you want to do a runway, or what I'm saying, which one would you rather do?
I really would love to be in a show. That one is kind of more of like a passion. I really, oh my gosh, if I could be in like a big role, like being Flo from Progressive, I would love that. I don't know why I love her. And she made like a lot of money being Flo from Progressive. So I look up to that. Um, but also like I am trying to divulge into like more musically related things, and that's been taking up a lot of my time. But I'm also thinking about how I can apply like modeling and acting into promoting the music. Like, okay, like what if I made like skits or like a music video or something based around this? Okay, who would I even go to that would be able to take like a video for that would be like clean and actually something that I would want to post on YouTube.
Okay.
And then like I already actually have photos that are like musically related that I modeled with that I'm like, yes, when I told her, I'm like, when I start making music, this is gonna
Yeah.
be my album cover. And now I'm just waiting for the song to be finished so I can use that photo to promote my stuff. So
And I love it. I'm just, we do cut clips, so I'm just trying to make sure I have something from each subject here. As far as your music, you said you do have a song that's coming out. We don't want to ruin, the release, but can you tell us a little bit about what influenced this particular project?
for this one, it's it's about having like a crush on someone, so that one's kind of an easy motivation. It's old ideas, but I've like modified them to be almost timeless. And it kind of worked out because I didn't really specifically have someone in mind when I came up with the original lyrics. And then I started listening to it again with someone in mind when I did start liking someone, and it still made sense. So I was like, okay, this is good. This is perfect because I didn't want it to be towards a specific situation, because if it was, then it's less it's what do you call it? It's like less of something to listen to when it's like very specific and you can't relate to it.
Right, marketable for sure. But it's no. Okay, so I mean, for those of y'all who watching, as y'all hearing that release, y'all be like, okay, I got it. I'm with her. So, is there any idea as far as like where you're at in the process, or we might be able to expect, to hear a tease of this, or where can people find out and keep in touch with you?
If people want to find out and keep in touch with me, the best place would probably be my Instagram, which is just Jasmeena Azu. Um, but we are supposed to start recording in September. I'm still waiting for them to tell me which days that they will have available for me to actually be able to go.
Okay.
Um, but after that, then I don't know exactly how long the process is to release it, like the mixing and mastering, because
Okay.
it's my first song. So it's been pretty fast, but it's also still like
Yeah.
been it's been fast, but it's been like 2 months. So it's fast and slow at the same time. I don't know.
Yeah, I got you. Well, I can tell you this: you got some music artists who are in the chat watching you, so I know they understand the process. They're, I believe they'll agree with me when I say don't rush it. I'm sure just put it out when you're ready, and it sounds like what you wanted to hear, and I'm sure people will gravitate to it. But we do want to know, so when you drop it, make sure you let us know because we're gonna help share it and be like, hey, that girl Jasmeena just dropped that track. Y'all need to go listen to it right now. Follow, subscribe, definitely, and all the goodness. So what can we expect as far as anything else that might be coming up with you that people should know about?
Um, Well, I do have like some personal like projects that I'm coming up with aside from like the music. I'm trying to show off that I do digital art again. So I was thinking of taking some self portraits and adding like twists and turns into them, and I wanted to do three different themes and
Okay.
post them all at the same time to like really show like I do digital art and I can change my style and I can apply it to something that is cool. Like you guys don't need to use AI. um, so that one's like a really big project that I'm like really excited for. But I also have to finish my at home personal studio so that way I can actually get into like taking the self portraits.
True, true. Okay. Hey, everything starts off with an idea and then becomes action. So I definitely understand the motivation, and we look forward to seeing it come to reality. Speaking of AI, I did just recently have an interview with Dame, and they had an interesting take on AI. And I'm curious, as another creative. What's your take on AI? Do you believe that it can be used in a good way, or do you believe that it's something that no one should be using? Or what's just your general opinion? I don't believe there's a right or wrong, but I'm just curious.
Personally, I don't like that it's being used at all. I think we all need to go back to like using pen and paper. Like, okay, actually, if I can talk about it, when people use AI to like solve things, they're not using their brain to like critically think about it. And the brain is a muscle. So you're like, people are actually becoming less intelligent from using it. So it's just becoming
Oh, are you still with us?
I just yes, I
I think it might have. Yeah, yeah, we can hear you. I think it just might have cut out a little bit. You might have pissed off the AI. Um,
they they're watching me. They're sending drones to my place right now as we speak.
oh
I'm
no!
sorry.
Oh no! Oh no! Well, at least we'll say, hey, listen, we know who did it. Well, actually, we don't, right? Do you think we're headed to some Terminator type doom, or because
I
oh,
believe they showed us those movies as like a warning that this is what was gonna happen.
wow.
Not gonna lie.
I do. I have to admit, it does feel like we're eerily close to some of the similarities that we're getting in the movie. You're like, come on now, like I can't
Even
be the only person who sees this weirdness, but um, I don't know. I do see. I feel like every good idea has the potential to be used in a bad way. You know what I mean? So I feel like there's the ways that we intend them to go, and then unfortunately sometimes there's ways that they go. So I'm hoping that as we continue to navigate our future, we can find ways that don't endanger us all. Right? I think that would be in everyone's best interest. No.
I will say, while we're still on the topic of AI, even a few years ago, there have been instances where people have used AI and they've told they like tried to shut down the AI, and the AI will notice like these people are trying to shut me down, and then try to re-upload themselves somewhere else so that way they can't actually be shut down. And that concept is scary, right? Now they're literally giving some AI robots weapons.
Yeah.
So we're very close to the Terminator.
Yeah, that is that. When you put it that way, I can definitely see the concern for sure. Well, thankfully, hopefully, before we ever get there, we'll have better creatives and better like minded people, like yourself. You know what I'm saying? Who will find a way to use this space that we call Earth for good instead of for destroying each other. So,
I could
one more
still be
time for
evil.
people. What'd you say?
I could still be evil.
I mean, I think there's. Can you use evil for good though? Like, is that weird?
I don't know about that one.
I mean,
Maybe.
they told you to act like you were gonna kill somebody. You couldn't do it. Okay, I'm sure it makes sense. I don't know if I want to know more, man. I got you. You got you got it. You got it. Well, Jasmina, it honestly has been an honor getting to know you, and we definitely look forward to the wonderful billboards that you take the presence on here in the future. So, until then, we always ask at the end, hey, listen, you came through the interview. I know I didn't hit you with a bunch of questions before you came here. Most people don't know what I'm going to ask them, but you made it. In the future, if we tap you on the shoulder to say, "Hey, Jasmina, it's been a minute since you sat down with the No Offense podcast," would you come back through?
Oh, I would definitely come back.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna hold you to that. We're gonna keep in touch. As we see your work, we're gonna try to share and support. We are a support network. I definitely want to say thank you again for giving us time today to get to know you, and to your much success. God bless and Godspeed.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You have a very lovely day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. I hope the podcast does really well. I hope when you come back to me that it's way bigger. Not that it's not already good right now, but like you deserve more recognition. This was a very, very good interview.
I really appreciate that. We never really get reviews, and that really made my day. I appreciate that. See, you're already been an angel. Thank you. Keep
You
me in
let
the
your
light.
guard down.
Yeah, yeah, you did. Cause I was worried. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting to know you too. We definitely had some people. Not. I'm worried about you. I was like, oh my god. No, it was just. I'm getting to know you guys. I try to tell everybody. These conversations aren't scripted. We are all getting to know each other at the same time. So people don't never know what to expect, and it's just a pleasant experience to get to meet some amazing, interesting people doing something from a different part of the world. You know. So I do mean it when I say I support. Ask people who know. They're in the comment section. I see a lot of them, and we're gonna be watching. I got you.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I'll be sure to stay tuned to your next interviews.
That's tomorrow. That's tomorrow. So hopefully I'll get to see you in the comments. And who knows? Hey, if you're interested, man, we might be able to work together. I'll talk to you.
All right, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hey, guys, that's gonna do it for our episode today. Sorry about that. I think we had a blink. So thank y'all for coming through. If you came through, make sure that y'all go follow her page right now. Like I'm telling you, she has some amazing photos, and you can tell she's an amazing person. So, as we always say, don't wait on the world to change when you could be the one to change the world. And we're trying to lead by example. Be like Jasmina. Go make someone smile. Catch you next time. Peace.